Hey, what is going on, chat? Hope everyone is having a great Thursday. Welcome to day 4 of what we're calling, I guess, SMITE Miss. Every day this week, we've got SMITE 2 reveals, going over everything that's going to be in the big January update.
Yeah, we're unwrapping all the presents a little bit early.
Exactly,
you know?
right?
But yeah, we're excited to share all this with you. It's been fun. It's been more tiring than I thought it would be on every day this week, but
I know, right?
It's still been
it's
fun.
different, but it's been fun.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, we've gone over conquest, aspects, item changes, Aladdin.
Yeah.
We had Agni and Mulan, Hawa Mulan yesterday. And we brought on Clumzy because today we're going to go over Geb and Ul in game, which
and
is
SMITE
very
card.
exciting.
Oh,
And
yeah,
SMITE
exactly.
cards. Yes, I know, right?
One day
it's
you're
actually
gonna bring me
happen.
on here for that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be wild.
And no one's gonna believe us because
Yeah,
we
that's
joke
true.
about it so much. It's hilarious.
I'll be so
But
happy.
And chat for the future schedule. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about Joust, and the flash testing after the show later in the day tomorrow is going to be just Joust and Duel.
Yep.
So if you want to play Joust and Duel, tomorrow flash test is your time to do it. And then Monday is going to be Assault, is the current plan. So
Nice.
Assault win, Assault Monday.
There we go. All right. Well, before we get into game for our 2 God showcases, we did have some fixes that have been hot fixed out to SMITE 2 Live that we wanted to go over. This morning, we released a bug fix to fix an issue that I believe we talked about yesterday with Eros's bow blocking basic attacks for characters that kind of switch those in hand. So that should be fixed up.
Yeah, really super obvious bug to all of you who play on live servers, but surprisingly difficult for us to see in our dev environment, which is where we do most of our testing. So it took a little bit to figure out how to replicate that and how to actually fix it, but it should be fixed for all the gods that were suffering from that.
We also added a lot of stability improvements, fixed up a couple crash cases.
Yeah, quite a few crashes, actually.
And then last but not least, the team is actively working to get our favorite chicken boy, Ra, turned back on, fixing that T-pose issue in game. So the goal is to hopefully have Ra back on in SMITE 2 Live by the end of the day today. So,
Nice.
Alex, did I miss anything over bug fixes and stuff like that?
No, I think that's pretty much everything. You know, I would say, once again, just for people that haven't been watching, we will be lighter on any changes next week because it's Christmas.
Yep.
So we can't do major changes over Christmas week and New Year's week because of console blackouts. So maybe a few smaller server level changes. You're spoiling the Uller already.
I know, right? Gosh, I pressed the wrong button. I'm not a pro streamer like Clumzy. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, plug your stream. You know?
yeah, got you.
But yeah, so you know, enjoy some time with your families, and then we'll be back for some smiting afterwards. I think also Monday's show when we talk about Assault will be our last show.
Yeah.
Probably until the new year. So we will be going on a little bit of a break while we're out of the office as well. I know we're slacking. Sorry.
Yes.
And then I may be out for a little bit longer because I'm expecting a kid very soon. And once the kid comes, I'm going to be out for 2 weeks.
Yep.
So that's the way it works in America. You get 2 weeks for your dad.
Excellent.
So I will be out for a little bit after that. I might not be back for a while, but I will see you all as soon as I can after.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, I already spoiled it, so shall we just go
Yeah,
ahead and
let's do
go
it.
in
Sorry,
game?
I too much preamble. People just
Chat
want to
knows
see
what's going on.
All right,
right?
I'm in game. We should have laptop audio here. We're going to go over Uller first, the glorious one. So, again, we had been on a couple months ago talking about some of the model updates for Uller. He is looking really great here. We got, of course, your classic arrow. You got your 2. I'm not going to fire the 3 yet because we've got some +1s here.
Oh, nice. That's right.
You've got your stand switch.
Yeah, I think that one of the most important things in the development for Uller, for like all the designers, were really making sure, aggro and pawn specifically, was that the transition between the abilities, the transition between the stances, it needs to feel fluid, right? It needs to feel good. Otherwise, you're just not having a good time as Uller.
Yeah.
So that was like very keenly, you know, just an eye was always on that, no matter what.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get into it. And I guess first of all, of course, Uller going to be full strength scaling. You know, he's going to be playing the carry role. He's got his classic passive here. Of course, reducing the cooldowns whenever you stand swap. The ability 1 in arrow stance, of course, is your. That's a bug. Oh, never mind. We've got the quotation marks for the opposite ability because this is our first stance switcher in SMITE 2. I wasn't used to the tooltip.
Yes.
I just thought about that. So you've got your bow fire here, and it also has the axe stuff in the tooltip as well, even if you're not in the stance, which I think is a really big quality of life thing.
Yep, it is nice.
Got your bladed arrow, and then I will stand swap for your thrown axe. You've got your stun there as well.
And again, like as we talked about a little bit already, like Uller is one of those most muscle memory of gods in Smite 1.
It's
like,
so important.
He's a super high skill cap character. He's very hard to play at the highest level, but he's really fun to play even if you're not great, and you can still do some things, you know. So a lot of getting Uller right. Somebody in chat says playing Uller is an admission that you're sweaty. I wouldn't say that. I think you're going a little too far. But no, I think it is a getting Uller to feel right is the most important thing for Uller to be good in Smite 2.
Yes.
Because he already just has such a great iconic kit that making massive sweeping changes was not the play for a god like this who's already uber complicated and is so feels reliant.
And that was one of the important parts about making sure that when we ported over Uller and we thought about what his +1s are going to be, it didn't just immediately add to, well, what is damage output to, right? Because like he's got a really strong combination of abilities that ends up kind of deleting characters, right? So if we can make that even easier to do, that's something that we'd be very careful about. So you'll see the +1s coming up. Do we want to get into them?
Yeah, let's get right into it. Let me switch to arrow stance and let's start talking about the +1. So the +1 for Uller is on his 3 for both
of his stances.
So what will happen is whenever you fire the 3, I'll do it in arrow stance first. He leaves behind a little deployable.
Little ice arrow.
Yep. Yeah. And then if I stand swap while
there we go. So
the
that's
deployable is out, in bow stance, you will create a field that slows enemies. I'll show that off here. That way people in chat can see,
both
all
parts
the details.
Yep. So it slows enemies for 3 seconds, I guess.
But if I am in axe stance and I leap, again, I've got my axes there on the ground. But if I stance swap, there's a little bit of an explosion, and any gods in that area will have their protections reduced.
Yeah, their physical protections are reduced in that area.
Yeah. It's not Scotty Ice, chat. They aren't going sliding. It's just a little bit of a slow.
Just a little bit of a slow.
Yes.
Yeah. So this combination of stuff was really important because, like I said, we didn't want to just increase the damage output directly with Uller, but we wanted to provide. There's a couple of different directions that was kind of that we wanted to make sure that was there. And Aggro did a really good job talking to the ambassadors, talking to the design team, making sure that we understood how to get Uller into a fun place without just making his combos necessarily just stronger. So really what it ended up being was versatility. In fact, you'll be able to realize that like the standard combination of, you know, throwing your axe to start with a stun and then doing your 3-1 bladed arrow, hail arrows, bladed arrow combo isn't directly impacted by either of these functionalities. But in fact, it's almost the opposite, where if you don't feel really confident in throwing your thrown axe, you can start off with that bladed arrow, switch stance, and slow the area instead, creating the zoning tool to make your thrown axe a little bit easier to hit, right? So it's almost going the opposite direction, where it's like, hey, now you have a little bit more versatility there, you've got a little bit more utility there. And the same thing, if you want to go all in and you want to just like jump in there, go in, start off the combination, throw your axe, stun them, and then get a physical protection shred to start things off. It's a little bit more risky, but you at least have, it's not a direct influence into your normal combo, but it's just a little bit more options, a little bit more things that you can do. And as I love this note from here, Aggro just specifically said, Uller players love to press buttons. Well, now when you're just like flicking between stances, you're even getting a little bit of a benefit for it.
And I believe one of his trackers will allude to that.
Oh yeah, is that right? That's good.
Pass. Yeah, it's great.
And for people who are asking for more complicated combos to be shown off, we are on the worst keyboard.
I am sorry, Chad.
Mankind. So it's a great laptop. The keyboard is just not great for playing at high level stuff. But it should feel pretty darn close to Smite 1. We put a lot of time into it. So if you guys play later today and you notice anything that doesn't feel great, please let us know.
There we go. And that is Uller, the glorious one. We talked about it a little bit in the show yesterday. Uller, another one of those gods to where he just felt like he was just feeling really good in Smite 1. So the +1's not like super crazy, but I think will add a lot of quality of life for those who like to stand swap. Give you just a little bit of extra utility in Uller's kit to help you out whenever you're dueling those opponents. Yeah, I said duel on purpose. Shout outs to Rexy.
Yeah, and then we will eventually have an aspect for Uller as well, so that will add even more to the kit. So something to look forward to for
Yep.
Uller enjoyers.
There we go. Well, that is Uller. I'm going to bring us back to Cams, and we can go into Geb.
Sweet.
Clumzy, I know you took point on Geb, so while I do the things, you want to give the chat the rundown and how we approach Geb and what we were thinking when it came to giving him its +1.
Absolutely. You know, it's really tough when you have some of these gods that are just like already rock solid, right? Like, you know, it's
Rock solid. Come on, man.
yeah, we just
we
wanted
get
to make
Brett
sure
on the
that
show
I
today?
know, right?
we wanted to make sure that he rolled out into Smite 2.
Oh,
in
come
a,
on. Stop. Shield me from these jokes.
Hey, what is this? It's a
Alex is
cataclysm
gonna
of
leave.
events. All right.
Well, it's been nice knowing you.
Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, we wanted to make sure that
Ascension Pack.
Oh,
Pass.
you want to do
Oh,
something?
yeah, sure.
People are like,
do it.
Ascension Pass, Ascension Pass?
Sorry.
let's roll on
My
that.
bad, chat.
Okay, you have to wait for Geb. I'm sorry. We got to show
No, I'm already out. We're good. We're good. Ascension Pass first. Gosh, we got so caught up in the dad jokes. Here we go. All right, so Uller God page looking great with the model updates. Hitting the mastery screen here. We've got Shadow Uller.
I love that.
Looking good. First tracker, full combos. Number of times that you've hit an enemy god with thrown axe, bladed arrow, and hail of arrows within a short time.
Nice.
So, of course, rewarding those players who know the full combo are getting it off super consistently. It'll just be great to track on the loading screen.
Yeah, and I think that like one of the things I like about trackers is that they can help point new players into like what you should be doing as this character, right?
Absolutely.
And it's like, oh, I didn't even realize that I should be doing this combo. Now that I have the tracker, maybe I'll try it. So I think it helps. Chat says I'm going to keep that one at 0.
Yeah.
Not by
Cool.
lack
You
of
got
trying
your,
either.
Your clap emote here. Your objectives destroyed.
Classic.
Your god assists. And then, of course, the button masher
The
tracker.
button masher.
Seconds reduced from your cooldowns by weapon master.
God, that's literally just smashing buttons. Yeah,
Yes.
that's good. That makes sense.
It's great. Then we've got our classic Onyx,
Looks good.
black and gold.
I like the I don't know what you would even call it, but like the layer, the texture on the hat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's nice.
Yeah, it's a little bit glossy. It looks good. Then we've got Opal. Of course,
Yeah.
looking sick. I love the Opal skins. They're my favorite thing.
Oh, let's see the cloak from the back. Yeah.
There we go.
Like that
Nice.
star
That's looking
almost
clean.
cloak. That's good.
All right, and then the global emote. You know we got to get our memes on. So Sweat to figure out which dance to
good.
switch into.
Nice. That's so smart.
Yeah,
What?
it's great.
It's a good one. So yeah, I think that like just the
so
global
good.
emotes in the
They're just
Ascension
make it
passes
so
are like
worth. Yeah,
they make me just like even if we didn't have anything else in Ascension passes, I would probably like buy them and
Right,
grind them out
yeah.
for the global
Yeah.
emotes. I think they're just so fun.
Oh man,
We need
it's
to
so
get the
good.
tech and see where you can equip multiple global
Oh, yeah,
emotes.
for
It's on our
sure.
to-do list. We just
Randomize and stuff.
All of them are
Sure.
too good. I need like 8 at a time.
Yeah, we basically we want to make it to where like when you put in your global emote, you can do like VXE 1, VXE 2, VXE 3 or
Right,
whatever,
right,
and have
right.
like three or four equipped at a time or something. We just need to get the UI in to support that, and it's something that we want to do. We just haven't done it yet. So soon, hopefully. For those of you who want a global or an emote wheel, there are not enough buttons.
I know.
We talked about it. But
All right, we've got our wave emotes. The title is Glorious One, of
Makes
course. Your God Kills tracker, your Mastery badge, and then Radiance. Ooh.
Nice. Oh, look at him. That's sick.
yeah, that looks good.
All the textures on the cap shine even brighter here on the Radiant. And the cloak looks great too.
Yeah, it looks good.
I love how you move and you get like new textures that kind of show up as you rotate the character. It's sick. The white and gold is amazing.
Yeah, there are a couple people in the chat who are like, I don't really know what Ascension Passes are. I'm just going to do real quick.
Yeah, do it.
So basically, it's like a more evolved version of the God Mastery system from Smite 1. As you play more, you'll unlock more rewards with the God by earning worshippers. There's a number of free rewards on the track. If you pay to unlock it, you will get more rewards. Some of them are locked behind the pay to unlock. They cost 900 diamonds, or they are payable with 50% legacy gems if you have legacy gems. So then it's 450 legacy gems, 450 diamonds, and you will earn 450 diamonds back by getting to level 10 on an Ascension Pass. So you will be able to pay back that diamond spend. So
and then we've got the card effects looking good here for Ull. I believe this also will swap stance. The color will shift a little bit, and then you'll get some axes that that kind of flow around the card as well.
Nice, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
And that is the Ascension Pass. Near or far? That's a great name. All right, I am gonna go back. I'm on PTS, so I'm not spoiling anything anymore.
Well,
yeah. I did a quick scroll before we started the show. We're good, and we'll get into Geb and just kind of look at the model before we go in game. We'll do the Ascension Pass after the kit chat. Don't worry. But just the model here, just the details and the rocks and everything. Geb is looking good. I love the foliage and stuff.
Yeah, you have to make sure the foliage that he carries on his back, is still
He's got the waterfalls going. He looks great.
Yeah, I think that our team did a really great job with him. I think it's still Geb, you know, but it's like high def Geb. It's kind of what you want from what we're trying to do here.
Right.
So.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna enter practice here, and we'll get into the kit.
All right. So we can go in a different order than usual.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of small quality of life things and a couple of fun things. There's really one big +1 feature, but he's got a little bit of love everywhere. Kind of.
And then I'm actually going to spawn an allied bot for when we get to it. All right, Clumzy.
Yeah, so starting things off, the passive got a bit of a change. It's got a bit of an upgrade and a double buff. If it wasn't fun enough, well, now it's a little bit more fun for the Geb players. So
for the Geb players, part of playing Geb is having fun yourself, but your opponent's not having fun.
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
Because they're knocked up, they don't get to deal damage because they're shielded. Anyway.
So the critical strike bonus damage, we wanted to make sure that maintained part of the kit, and while that was pretty cool, we wanted to make sure that we played a little bit with that basic attack damage. So he's actually going to be decreasing enemy god basic attack damage by 25% on top of the critical hit damage reduction. So that means you're actually going to be taking normal basic attack damage, not including the reduction we see there, from crits unless the enemy gets a Deathbringer, because then that'll go over the bonus cap. But also, on top of both of those things, because that wasn't fun enough, we were just like, let's do something a little bit more spicy for Geb specifically, and that is the first part, which is Geb cannot take more than 20% of his max health from any singular attack. So you cracking Geb, he's going to be just shrugging it off.
Yeah.
You can only do that 20% damage. So whether that's basic attacks, right? If you're doing some hard-hitting basic attacks, it's already being reduced by him. If you get to that 20% threshold, well, you'll at least need to be doing 5.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, that's real good. It might be too good.
It might be too good. I've been told.
Hey, we'll see.
Pretty
after
darn
we get
good.
people in the flash test,
Yeah,
getting all
exactly.
that feedback.
If we need to nerf it, that's okay.
Executes will still execute if he's in threshold.
Yes, that's right. That's
yes.
right.
Good call
It does
out.
bypass that. So and if that wasn't fun enough, right? So we said a little bit of quality of life everywhere. The third ability, Stone Shield. It applies the shields to your allies, shields to yourself. That has a change.
Shield.
But if you hover over the tooltip there, or I can also just say it out loud, all of the passive effects that you as Geb get also are given to the allies that are shielded by the 3.
Let's see if I can.
Yep. So if you're shielding yourself, you do not double up on the benefits, but it's mainly for the allies. So not only are they getting that health shield, but they're also getting Geb's, sturdy benefits. Yeah. Which is pretty good. Another small quality of life thing is the second ability, Shockwave. You can actually fire it while casting, kind of like we did with the Ymir tech.
Genetics says it's balanced in chat. So.
Oh yeah, no, I was absolutely just taking Genetics' feedback on making sure that Geb felt balanced. So I think between him and me, we got it. 50%. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, but like you were saying, Clumsy now can keep walking at a slowed pace.
At a slowed pace, so you're not going too crazy far. But that's it's pretty fun. Another quality of life feature, which is a lot harder to see, is that there's a % health damage on the ultimates, on Cataclysm. That in Smite 1 never affected non-gods. And now it does in Smite 2, because I was just like, I was testing it on a minion wave. I'm like, I'm not dealing any damage. And I was like, wait a second, why does this hit?
Right, yeah.
He's doing such a cataclysmic event. I'm like, why is this gods only? So now not only is it gods, but it's also enemy minions. It's also jungle bosses. It's not going to be structures, though. Like, that would be a bit silly. So not just the damage, but also the percentage health components. So both parts in Smite 2 now damage all different humanoids.
Secure those objectives with Gebalt now. You know?
Exactly. But anyways, the thing that people probably want to see is this actual +1 feature, not the other +1.
Yeah, all this other stuff is that's not enough. We need something that's it's real spicy, real special.
All right.
What do you have cooked up for us?
All right. Well, if you roll out after 3 seconds, when you reach max speed, you'll get a refire. And you'll be able to leap forward as a little boulder, jumping your way through the battlefield. You can actually re-aim, and you'll be able to kind of like 180 if you want to as well. And you'll be knocking up enemies a very, very small amount instead of the knockback that you would normally get.
And can you can jump over geometry if
you
it's
can jump
long
over
enough?
geometry if it's far enough. We've had to nerf this a good bit, but it gives him a lot more versatility. And he's like, it almost is a way of making it so that Geb himself doesn't even need a blink to initiate, or
Yeah.
or if he wants to get over those walls like we talked about and join the team fight. Now you're jumping. Now you've got
Now
hops.
you're throwing rocks, you know. Oh yeah, this one it just feels so good to use. It's fun. A little hop over the wall.
And I will say, like, in our internal playtests, he it seems like he works in a lot of roles now. Like, he's still probably best as a support, but especially with the aspect.
Yeah, I was going to say we can actually toggle that on because I couldn't show that the other day.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
press
Do you
tab-
want to
yeah,
toggle
so
it on?
we
You want
added
to
it
talk
to,
about the aspect?
yeah, we added
we
it
have
to
the,
tab
menu
screen now.
is 6, so
Yeah.
toggle aspect on. So the aspect which we talked about the other day but we didn't get to see is your shockwave is now going to be in 360 degrees instead of a 90-degree cone in front of you. I think there we go. It's not going to knock up, but it's going to do full damage, and it's also going to reduce in cooldown for every enemy that you hit. So now we get the double up of the aspect in Geb.
Yeah, it's massive, and it does reduce the cooldown for everybody it hits, so it can be very short cooldown. I think you're on reduced cooldowns right now.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. Turn it off. And
Yeah, so you can see even just from those few enemies that he hit, it dropped in like around 3 seconds, and it works on minions too. So like when you're in wave,
No
when you're in
way.
assault, when you're in
No
like,
shot.
and in the other game arena, right, where there's game modes, there's loads of minions around and gods around, and you have some cooldown reduction. Yeah, it gets pretty good.
And
That
now,
being said,
basically, it also hits everybody that you would cataclysm. So you can
oh,
just-
it's a bigger range than Cataclysm.
it's a bigger range cataclysm. Okay, so yeah, you definitely can cataclysm and hit everybody.
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah,
You can jump in, cataclysm, and then
and then hit everybody, and then just keep smashing. No, it's a lot of fun. But as we've tested around with, it's probably not the best in the Guardian role. Like, you're probably not going to go support your ADC and choose to not be able to knock up the enemies in front of you. Because that being, like, while the 360 degrees is really big, the 90-degree shockwave, like, is still really, really
Yeah.
easy to hit for, like, if you're just thinking about the dual lane. But
Yep.
it's a lot of fun.
And especially now that you can walk while casting it, you know?
Yes,
Oh, wait,
exactly.
can you walk while casting the 360? That's a little bit.
Yeah,
A little
yeah,
bit.
it's the same, like, 50% self-slow.
And
You're
it
no longer
seems like
bleeding.
it's working the way that Agni's one does, where it kind of like ramps up and down. It's not just like instant, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's nice.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so, yeah, we're going to be seeing Geb roll out and then leaping into the battlefield. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be great. I didn't show off the knockback here. So that is still there.
Yep.
But you can opt to leap and knock up instead, which is super cool.
And then one of the things that we've mentioned a few times that we want to be careful about, and that we're also including in some of the balance passes recently, is that we are taking the time to try and reduce a little bit of CC when we bring some gods from Smite 1 to Smite 2. So in this case, the Shockwave's height is reduced a little bit, and the ultimate stun duration is reduced by a little bit. He's also technically gaining that knockup like by choice, so it's kind of like a trade-off there.
Right, yeah.
The other important thing, if you are playing with the +1, which I mean everyone's going to be, is that because you can, while you stop on an enemy god, if you're actually going through minions, you'll be able to get the damage through those minions and then hop back onto them to deal damage again. So that's the strat, guys.
It's really smooth to aim and like kind of do the 180
Yeah.
and jump back. It's cool. I mistimed it, chat. Don't worry. Don't look.
But you can do
It's
that. You
good,
can even
yeah.
do that in the jungle. It all works out.
So
It feels good.
a lot of questions about the passive being on the shield now. Is it the entire passive where they also can't take more than 20%
Yep.
of their
all of those things.
and it's their hit points, not
It
Geb's
should be
hit
their
points.
hit points unless things go drastically wrong.
Yeah, the ability art also updated. Thanks for noticing that, chat. I think it looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's a lot like brighter than it used to be, which I think is nice.
If the shield does not give item passives, that'd be pretty wild.
That would be wild. All right. Well, that is Geb. Clumsy, anything else about Geb +1s? Aspect coming to Geb,
Yeah.
as soon as he's in the flash test, which is really exciting. It's cool.
No, I think all those +1s and +1s and the aspects. I think we hit everything.
Nice, cool. Well, we should go through
PBM
the
asks,
instant.
if the shield only has 5 hit points left, it will still apply the 20% hit point limit after the damage is applied. Or does the shield break first?
That's a good question.
We'll find out.
Okay.
you tell me on the flash test, PB. I would assume that it'd be the damage reduction and then it'll go through the shield, but like that's the amount of damage that you're taking.
And then the
It's not gonna like increase after the shield.
in terms of his scalings,
It's all in-spaced.
Okay.
And it's all very similar to Smite 1's.
cool.
go through the abilities really quick and give chat time to
He's
screenshot.
not a hybrid gun.
Yeah.
Other than his basic stats, of course.
People that are, this is a good question to answer real quick. Enable customs for flash tests. We're intentionally not enabling customs for flash tests right now just because we don't have a way to enable customs and not also let you pick Joust and Assault.
Yeah.
And we really want the testing to be focused on the Conquest map right now. So we have to make it be queued only. I understand it's a little bit annoying, but that's why we have it set to be no customs right now. And then we do have, tomorrow will be Joust, and then Monday will be Assault.
Cool. All right. Well, I've got the Ascension Pass up for Geb.
Oh, chat real quick is asking, what is an aspect? They missed.
Oh,
missed
yeah.
aspect chat. So basically,
Clumzy, walk us through
Yeah,
it.
No, Killgoon, please.
I was
Explain
going to
this
give
so
the
much
quick
better than
version.
I
The
do.
quick version. So when a match starts, like when you're in the lobby and you're picking your god, you'll be able to pick: do I want to play the normal version of the god, or do I want to play the aspect version of the god? And it's one or the other. It's either the normal version or the aspect version. The aspect version usually changes one or two abilities, and usually is like a bit of a role shift or a play style shift for that god. So for Geb, you can either play him with the normal cone knockup, or you can play him with the 360 no knockup.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of different like Athena's you can teleport to enemies instead of teleporting to allies. And we're gonna roll out about 20 of these aspects when the system initially launches, and then we're gonna add more over time for the rest of the gods.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Laptop coming up for Geb's Ascension Pass. Up first, Shadow Geb. I love how it's got like the pinks.
The
and
blood
purples.
waterfall on the
Yeah,
shoulder.
I know, right? It's
very
metal
metal.
right there.
Yeah. It's like also somehow tropical. I don't know.
A
Like,
little bit.
like the something about the red trees
Yeah.
makes me feel it's like demon chic.
Yeah.
Demon chic. That's a good phrase.
It's got some vaporwave vibes going to it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just so many layers of concepts on this.
And then the first tracker, Boulder Dash, distance traveled while in boulder form during rollout. So,
I see a typo. Let's fix that.
we found a typo yesterday.
Oh,
We're
yeah?
just gonna go
There we
clean
go.
those up. Yeah.
But we can't because then we break Loke.
Oh, that's true.
Okay. It'll be there for
We'll
a
figure
week
it
soon.
out. We'll figure it out. Oh, we've got the clap emotes.
Oh, schmack.
Your objectives destroyed. Your god assists. Cataclysm. Number of times 2+ gods have been hit by Cataclysm. So getting
good.
those multi-man ults, feeling real good about yourself. I'm excited for Onyx.
Ooh,
Nice.
Fountains of gold. And I feel like Onyx
He's so
being a
sparkly.
stone on a god that is rock,
yeah.
it just works real well.
That makes sense.
That's sick. All right, moving on to Opal.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh.
the Opal.
Prismatic.
Oh, it's my favorite. That's sick.
It's like
Opal wins.
it's like a puking unicorn
Yeah.
coming out of this. That's great.
I love the
That's
prismatic.
actually really cool.
Yeah,
I'd probably
that
rock
makes
that one. I was overwhelmed at first, but now I'm like,
Yeah.
I can be an obnoushed multicolored
Right?
Geb
Yeah.
rolling around
Leaping
everywhere.
around
This
the
is great.
walls. You know.
It looks like just
You
a Lisa
cannot
Frank
blink while
sticker,
rolling
you know?
out, no.
Like, then we've got the emote. Big oof. Big oof.
Oh my god.
Oh man, this is whenever your ADC just inside the tower, you just fire this off.
Or you
Like,
you
come
fire the ulti after everyone's already dead or
on.
something.
Oh right, yeah.
Oof.
You got your wave. You've got your title,
Earthbound.
Earthbound.
Ooh,
Nice,
excellent game.
excellent. God kills, your mastery badge, and then Radiant Gab.
Damn. I love the like veins of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
this one is
cool.
sick too.
That's cool.
It's like marble.
Oh, I really like
almost.
that.
Yeah, especially like those veins of gold in the feet are like
Yeah.
really neat.
Like you've got like the vine veins and you've got like the glow veins.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, this one is sick. And then we'll see if the card effects. are
Waterfalls
done.
of milk.
Nice card effects for Gab. You got the floating
very
islands.
serene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very peaceful.
Before he rolls out and leaps over a wall and knocks you up, cataclysms you.
This is a deep cut, but it reminds me of that one island from Magic the Gathering that's like the floating.
Oh,
cup.
yeah,
Okay,
that's a
yeah,
good
It
one.
reminds me of
Yeah.
that.
Was that the Zendikar one?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so. The full
yeah.
art, yeah.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Well, that is Geb's Ascension Pass. Geb and Ul headed to PTS later on today for the flash test. And I believe that gets us to 5 gods in the big January update that we've revealed this week.
Yeah,
That's
five gods in the big January update. I believe we're still finalizing the exact release plans, right? And part of it depends on like when we think the update is done and ready to ship.
Yeah.
But I think what is most likely going to happen is that we will turn on we will release the update early in January with the gods except for Aladdin turned on, and then Aladdin will probably turn on a week afterwards, along with some other content. So that's kind of what I'm anticipating right now. Because I think the reason why is we want to ship the update earlier than we had initially planned, so that we have a little bit of time to work on it and fix it in live and whatnot. So that's my current expectation, and then we'll keep rolling out gods pretty steadily after that.
We'll keep rolling.
The other thing I want to make Geb's Ultra Global keep up with those balance suggestions. The other thing I just want to cover again for people that missed yesterday, the way that you unlock gods is going to be changing starting in the January update. If you already bought a Founders Pack or a Founders Edition, don't worry, you still have all the gods. Easy. If you did not previously have a Founders Edition, though, all the gods were, except for the most recent gods, were previously on free rotation, because we didn't have an easy way of letting free players unlock those gods. Well, that's going to be changing. We're only going to have like 5 gods on free rotation at a time. Instead, we've got this new system that's really simple, really easy to understand. Every time you account level up, you will get a god unlock token. You can use that god unlock token to unlock a god of your choosing, other than the most recently released group of gods, basically. And then like once they are not the newest release gods, like a week or 2 later, you can use the god token on them if you're just a little bit patient, right? So it's pretty simple. Level up, get god tokens, unlock gods. If you have a Founders Edition, instead you will get 100 diamonds for every level that you get up to level 50. So you will get 5,000 diamonds back for free by getting up to level 50, which more than pays for the cost of the $30 Founders Edition, because a $30 Founders Edition is $30. 5,000 diamonds is $35. So you will make $5 of diamonds plus have access to all the gods just by leveling up. So yeah, that is how that works. We will be changing the XP per level needed. So the level that you will be when you log in OB1 will change slightly, but you will not have lost the XP that you earned. It just will be the curve for the levels is going to change slightly. So still finalizing that system. I will share more details on that when I have it. But the exact numbers are just a little bit in flux right now. So yeah. People are spamming a PBM question while I am not looking. Do you want to answer it?
No, it's no different from than what it was before.
Okay. So basically, the question is still, sorry, it's hard to read when people are spamming all caps. Makes it harder for me to understand what the question is. Here's a single question which I can read. When can we buy the Lichborn Mordred skin? I believe that will be enabled in January, but I'm not sure. It might be later. Sometime soon. It's not 100% done yet. It was kind of partially on, but not really done.
The get passive is only alive while the shield is up on you. So if the shield is gone, so is that Geb's passive bonus. Geb cannot blink while rolling. Blink cannot be used with any sort of dashes, and Geb's rollout is a dash.
Bring back CC buffering. We might be doing that soon. TBD. We are kind of debating whether to turn on, but I would expect we probably will turn it on pretty soon here. People keep asking for it. I do have an update on console PTS. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to do console PTS for this cycle because of some build issues that are very technically complicated, which I cannot accurately explain. But basically, by trying to make a PTS build, we're going to screw ourselves for trying to make the full build for console right now because of the way things are set up. Very bad news. I'm sorry. I was very hopeful that we would be able to, but we just encountered a few too many issues to be able to make that happen. We would love to do it. And hopefully we will do it again soon, but just unable to get that sorted out right now. So sorry, especially for everybody who's upset in chat. Don't talk console peasants. You people are horrible. Console players are great.
They are.
I play Smite on both PC and on console.
I started playing Smite on Xbox.
You wouldn't have Isiah here if it wasn't for console Smite. So come on.
Is there PTS today? Yes. The plan is probably around 3-4 p.m. has been the time that we've been enabling PTS, and we keep it up till 9 a.m. The following morning. Saw a question about PTS plans over the weekend. I don't know if we've actually given that some additional thought. We can double back with the team and maybe provide an update on that on tomorrow's show.
Yeah. That sounds good. We can talk about that tomorrow. Epic PTS I can ask about, because that might be a different build cycle. I did not ask about that. I just asked about console. I will make a note.
Yes, the God page on SMITE 2 website is in the process of getting updated to all the 2D card art instead of the renders. We know there are a handful that still using the renders, but that should be polished up soon.
Oh, here's a question that I was planning on answering today. Can you guys please give Agni his moonwalk back from the OG days? Right. It gives him a lot of personality, and just overall is way cooler than the stiff walk he has right now. So I think that largely this is a matter of opinion. And certain people love the moonwalk. Yeah. Certain people love the walk that he has had since 2013, 2014 in SMITE 1 as his default walk, right? Our current plan is that we don't intend to change the base Agni walk for SMITE 2, but we are very, very open to adding a skin in the somewhat near future that uses the moonwalk for people that want to be able to use the moonwalk animations and are more comfortable with those, right? It will most likely be I can't promise this, but it will most likely be like a classic skin that's available for legacy gems. So, because we don't I'm not trying to get money out of your pocket to be able to play with the moonwalk walk. That's not why I'm doing this. It's just that it's kind of like a 50-50 thing on what people prefer. And the current Agni walk has been the default Agni walk for longer. And generally speaking, from like an artistic perspective and from a lot of players' feels perspective, we like that better. I am not confirming Swagni. Swagni is a skin that we would probably not release in 2024. If you actually listen to the voice pack for that skin, it is very, very questionable. Yeah. It has lived in SMITE for a very long time, and we're not taking it down. But that is come on, guys. Like let's, some of the things that he's saying are not really appropriate. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on Swagni in particular. Anyway, we do want to add Moonwalk Agni back for sure. We know that's something people like, but just not on the base.
Yeah.
Woke nonsense. This is not woke nonsense, guys. Come on.
Let's see here.
I saw someone mention it earlier. There's a couple of questions on it. The aspect system was designed such that eventually, well, first of all, we are looking to expand the aspects over time to all of the gods in the roster, all the current ones and all the new ones upcoming. Like, the Gab one was designed before Gab was even released, right? So that's one way of showing that off. But also, while we're not committing to this, the system was designed in the background to allow for multiple aspects per god. We still want to make sure that they're going to be trade-offs so that you can always play as the default non-aspected god all the time, but maybe one day in the future you'll be able to see multiple.
Yeah. What is the benefit to PTS over temp enabling gods in the live client to live test like CC buffering was? So I feel like they're kind of two wildly different things.
Yeah, completely. CC buffering is a system that we kind of have been working on in the background for a long time, right? So it was easier to just enable it with a flag in the live environment because we have been working on it for so long, right? Whereas gods, like the way that they are packaged and included in the build is very different. And usually the final few things for a god are not done until the last few days before that build is done, just because there's a lot of departments working simultaneously to try and get things done. So we couldn't really ship a god to live early. That would mean that we were just done with it early and we were just holding it. And generally speaking, we don't like to hold things longer than we need to hold things. We like to get things out in players' hands as quickly as we can once they're done. So that's largely why we don't do that. When will PC console cross progression be available? It's available now. Go to link.smite2.com, I
Yep,
believe is the
that's it.
URL, and you can link your accounts. And you need to find a way to get a key on each platform that you want to play, which is a little bit annoying. But as soon as the game's free, there won't be that barrier.
Going to Chaos's question, but also just a general idea on like the balance of aspects. We're excited to see how they perform in both the flash tests and when they release. I mean, there's only so much data we can get internally from our internal playtesting, and we're already seeing a lot of dichotomous feedback of like this one aspect in this specific scenario is extremely strong, and then it's also the weakest thing in the game if you're not doing certain things. So once we get these into the game, we are fully expecting to be able to, and we have the ability to see the data between them, and we'll be balancing them individually. We also, because of their trade-offs, we don't need to change like the base god of the aspect is overperforming or vice versa. So we're not planning on doing too many iterations before the actual January release because, you know, there's not that much time left for the flash test. We're pretty happy, and we have actually done some balances from these flash tests as well. So we're definitely excited to see how they release, and we will you know, hotfix balance nerf tests as well. So we're definitely excited to see how they release, and we will you know, hotfix balance nerf or buff as we need to when they come out.
Yep, a little bit closer to the release of the update, we'll have patch notes with, you know, all the balance changes that we made in the meantime between all the flash tests.
Chat system and ping display updates. So we will have chat in the pre-match lobby and in-game on PC in the next update. We will be adding it to console soonish. We basically didn't want to risk certification issues for this update, so it was hard to get. And anytime you add like a communication system, it needs to go through full certification with the platforms, which can take a long time. So we wanted to make sure that we had the kind of first run of the chat system for PC in pre-match and in-game. We'll be adding the post-match lobby communication relatively soon thereafter.
Nice.
That will be post-match will be all chat, just like always. It will only stay up for, I believe, a minute after the game is done and not just stretch on forever because of the way that we're handling it now. Basically, it's running in the same like server instance, so we need to take the server down eventually to move on.
Yep.
So, and then the other one was like ping stuff. We are still working on that. I don't have an ETA for when that will be done, but we are aware of the kind of 3D ping stuff and the console map pinging and all that. It's on the to-do list.
Yep. I saw a good question. If I hit an enemy that is shielded by Geb with shield splitter and take half their shield, do I get the passive benefits from Geb as well, or just the shield?
I doubt you get the passive benefits because you're getting your own version of the shield, of like the shield splitter shield. You're not getting Geb's specific ability shield. I'm like 90% sure.
That's 10%.
Yeah, exactly.
Are there going to be Twitch drops for Vegas? There are going to be Twitch drops for Vegas. So haven't announced what they are yet, but they are going to.
I believe if you poke around in live, they may already be turned on. There are going to be a couple badges, a global emote, card effects will be a Twitch drop as well. And I think there's a title. And I think one more thing that I can't remember off the top of my head. But we'll have a full blog and stuff a little bit closer to Vegas, detailing Twitch drops, when you can watch to get rewards and all that good stuff.
Ooh, that's interesting. Will a Wheelish be able to pull the Geb jump, or is he CC immune while jumping still?
He's CC meanwhile jump.
Okay.
Yep. Although, great question.
Does Geb shield still cleanse?
Yes, that hasn't changed. He hasn't really lost any features that you would have expected, other than like the little bit of the CC changes that we talked about.
Did we think ever about making Geb physical, or some sort of strength-based, at least, given Rock?
Given
Rock.
that kind of discussion has been brought up a few times in different opportunities, but like it wasn't really a serious one for Geb. Just because Rock isn't enough of a reason. It'd be such a large departure from going from Smite 1 to Smite 2 that even though you have access to all the items, I think it would make people more upset than excited about it. So we wanted to make sure that, you know, first and foremost, the Geb players and people who are excited to play Geb were excited to do so in Smite 2. And we also, I think we've said it a few times as well, we don't want to take these opportunities to just make everyone hybrid or everyone just flip-flop. Like, we want to make sure that we have a very specific goal and reason for each time we do that.
There's a question about, with Aladdin having wall running, how realistic is it to expect something similar for Arachne? Arachne's a long way out, so I think it's hard to say for sure what we're going to do with Arachne. I think we definitely talked about it internally already. I think, though, we want to make sure we don't get into the place where we have this new trick in our bag of tricks and now suddenly everybody can wall run.
Yeah.
So if it's something that Arachne got, it would need to be somehow unique, and it would need to be her own spin on the thing.
Yeah.
I believe we already are working on changing Neith's Mastery Badge to have the card art. I think there was a thread about that.
Yeah, I saw
in the past
Lermy
day or
talking
two.
about that yesterday.
We have heard the feedback that you want ruler and abilities, preview color, and opacity slider. Something that we will probably get to eventually, just not in the immediate future. Yes, Mad Scientist AJ is still cooking up something crazy for Vulcan. It seems like it's mostly working. It's not done yet.
I have seen him just like giggling to himself over there and then like seeing Vulcan on his screen. So I would assume that things are going pretty positively.
Yeah, it's silly in a good way. Not even silly. It's just cool.
Yeah.
Silly is like
It's wild.
not doing it justice. So I'm excited for it. Joust is coming with the January update. It might be released a little bit like after the initial update, in the same way that Aladdin probably is going to be, but it will be in that update at least. So it will be out in early January, I think is the best way I can say right now. Will God releases slow down after the first 50, or will the same pace be kept? So we aren't 100% able to confirm what our pace is going to be going forward, just because game development's real hard, guys. Things change all the time, right? I will say this very recent pace that we've been on has been extremely fast, right? We've been shipping like 2 gods every 3 weeks or faster, right? That is not a sustainable pace going forward, because we kind of did all of the technically easy gods as part of this initial push. So the gods that we have remaining are more challenging. And so we just can't go quite that fast. That said, I would expect that we are going to continue at a very, very fast pace, much faster than we initially were thinking when we were planning SMITE 2, and you will not get bored waiting for gods. Beyond that, watch the roadmap show at Vegas, and we're going to talk a little bit more about kind of the gods after this Vegas update.
Sweet.
After this January update. PBM says, if we only do one god in 2025, he's happy as long as it's Atlas. So, I'll see what we can do.
I'm sure Dandy will be on that train right with PBM.
Do we know when Lumen is coming back? That's a good question. I don't remember. It was disabled because we felt like it was making performance worse and not making the game look better.
Yeah.
I don't remember where we left it, but theoretically it will come back at some point. We were running a position where a lot of people were enabling it because it's the thing, and we felt like it was actively making the game look worse and hurting performance. So no audio on YouTube. We'll have to get Jameson to fix that.
Yeah, we will. That's
sorry, chat. If you're on YouTube, you wouldn't be able to hear us say sorry, but we'll get that fixed next time. Will the game ever be 120 frames per second on console? I think we would like for it to be 120 frames per second on console. I think we've been talking about having like multiple modes you can select to be able to pick different frame rate, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing to kind of keep in mind though is that like you may have 120 FPS TV. A very small percentage of people have 120 FPS TVs. It's becoming a little bit more common over the past like year and a half for brand new TVs, but the vast majority of people have 60 hertz TVs.
Yeah.
So it is effort that needs to be done on our side that would benefit a relatively small percentage of the player base. I mean, we have so much that we need to get done. We're trying to prioritize things that affect wider swaths of the player base as the first things that we do.
Yeah.
Do we read YouTube live chat? Our chat is combined now.
Yeah.
We can read them both. So yes.
I saw a question about non-conquest balance for Smite 2 with the introduction of Joust. Is that something that we've thought about yet?
It's something that is in the back of our brains, but not something that we're going to be prioritizing right now.
When can we expect more God bans in ranked? This is a big discussion with the pros. I think at least immediately, I don't believe we're planning to add more bans for this January update right now, right? Because I think we looked at it or did we end up doing it? I don't remember.
I don't know if we ended up doing it.
I think we tested it and it didn't quite work right.
Yeah, we're still debating that.
So I would say
closer, but
pretty soon, I would say.
Yeah.
We think that there need to be probably like 2 bans per side at this point. So I would say pretty soon, but maybe not.
And then also
Yeah.
like where in the flow they'd be and stuff like that.
Are they
there's a
both at
couple
the beginning, or is one in the beginning and one in the middle?
Yeah, I know AJ was talking with Hindu Man and Cooper and mentioned that if the teams that qualified to Vegas were interested in 2 bans, maybe they could support it, but it wouldn't be like an in-game thing. They have to like do picks and bans separately and, work with production on that front.
My question is, I linked my Xbox and my PC account, but now I have a PS5. Can I use that same account on my PS5, or do I have to link that also? You can use it. You can link everything together. Once you go to link.hirez.com or link.smite2.com, you can link all of your accounts together. And then once they're linked, you pick which one is your primary account. And basically, in our backend, that's treated as that's the account where all the progress is happening. And then when you log in on another platform, it loads the progress from that account.
Yes.
So basically, whichever account you've progressed the most on, make sure you mark that one as your primary. And then when you log in on PS5, you will have your progress from Xbox and PC. Is there a reason why console normal casting was changed from 2 of the same input to the ability press button into a right trigger press? It should be either. There is a setting that is double tap to fire in the settings that should be on by default. And when it's on, then you can just double tap an input to fire. If that's not working that way, maybe something got broken and we should take a look. It is off by default. Oh.
And I know we talked about it being off by default on PC.
I think it needs to be off by default. Yeah, I think we need to make sure that.
I don't know if that ever ended up happening, but I remember that's what we discussed.
Thanks, Lermy.
Because I toggled that on PC. I've enjoyed that.
Will we get all of our Divine Legacy and Immortal Honor skins on open beta release? I would say not day of for the January update, but I know the team is working to get those skins completed and into the game as soon as possible. So not the same day that the update releases, but in the coming weeks after that.
Yeah, we definitely plan to release all there's a bunch of outstanding skins that we know we need to get through. We'd initially planned to be through all those skins, but because we pivoted to do all the gods instead, which I think was the right call, it just prevented us from getting through as many skins as we wanted to.
Yeah.
I like this comment. When you eventually make Smite Cart 2 as a permanent game mode, you should add unique carts in every God's Ascension Pass. I think at that point, if we ever got to that point, we'd have a second Smite Cart 2 God Ascension Pass where you could they'd have their unique carts and you'd be able to trim out different parts of it individually. We've got big plans that will happen one day if things go well.
We are so lost in the sauce right
I
now.
know, right? We are at 158. I think that means
Oh,
it's time
sorry.
for one more question. Getting us out of here before we want to talk,
I'm going to answer 2 real quick.
Yeah.
So will Favor be making a return? Favor will not be making a return as you know it. We will be having the God tokens that I talked about earlier. So every time you account level up, you will get God tokens that you can spend to unlock gods. And then there's another system that we'll be adding later where you will get a currency just by playing the game that you can use to unlock free cosmetics. Yeah. But having the 2 things combined in Favor was just not really good for the economy of either. And it just led to people having a ton of Favor with nothing to spend it on, and us not wanting to make more things that we sold for Favor because people would just get it instantly and it wouldn't actually drive more play.
Yeah.
So we think we have a good system. Watch the Vegas Roadmap show for more details.
Nice.
And then my second one more question. Oh, I lost it. Where is it? I can't remember what it was.
Oh, no.
Okay, somebody else answer some questions, and I will come back to my question.
But how could Founders spend those tokens if they already own all the gods? Founders Edition owners will be getting 100 diamonds per level up to level 50.
Yes, you'll get 5,000 diamonds, which is $35 worth of diamonds for the price of your $30 God pack. Seems good.
Sweet.
Oh, rerolls in Assault. We'll talk about Assault on Monday.
Yeah, there we go.
But there are rerolls even though there isn't favor, so don't worry about that. And I still haven't found my one question. What's your one question? Find your one question.
What? Oh, we each needed one question? Oh,
Yeah, everybody answers one question. That's the way this works. Come
I
on.
didn't realize that. Mine was the Smite cart one, right?
No, come on. Man, I lost this question. It was such a good question.
I mean, this is a small question. Yeah, the Cupid aspect one. That's on me. I just had fun writing a lot of these aspect titles and or names, and he is the God of Love, so I can see it being a different name than God of Love. I think that's not a priority, but I don't see that being a bad swap.
Yep. With the first Dance Switcher god being added, has there been any discussion about being able to set different cast modes for stance swapped abilities, like Uller jump on instant, but hail of arrows on normal cast?
That sounds hard. sorry. I'm just trying to think how we would do that.
I can see the use case for it.
Yeah, I can too. I'm just trying to think if there's
And
even
then
a
when
way
we
to
have
do
triple
that.
stance switchers by silly little
Oh
devs who
my
like to have
goodness.
3
Yeah.
stances.
That's your fault, Clumzy.
Whoa!
I don't see a clean way to do that, especially in the immediate future. We are working on making it clearer that you're changing your cast type on a per god basis when you're loaded in as a god. But yeah, I don't know about that one. We don't do that in Smite 1, right?
No, we don't. But it's been something that's been requested for a while in Smite 1 as well.
So I found my question. And it's the last one I wanted to answer real quick. And you guys can answer more questions if you want to. But it was basically like, what do you guys... Oh, I'm going to answer this one first. Because this is what happens after you get all 50 tokens? You want to unlock more gods. Once we have more than 50 gods, you'll be able to unlock more than 50 tokens. We just don't want people to be sitting on like 100 tokens that they can't spend. You know, I think that just feels bad and is not a good player experience. But we will add more tokens to levels as we add more gods. Yeah. So you aren't going to get into a place where you can't unlock gods.
Gotcha.
The question I was going to answer, sorry, I'm all over the place today, was what are you guys doing like for promotion for the January update, right? For this next big release, right? And I would say like we have a lot of things planned, right? We are working with our platform partners to get as much visibility as we can and send messages to people that ever played Smite 1 to let them know that the game is available and whatnot. We will have some gameplay trailers, so not really like cinematic, but like sometimes cinematic angles from within the game itself. We have found that basically over the past few years, the industry as a whole has moved away from cinematic trailers, other than for like an initial announcement of a game that isn't ready to show, because players want to see gameplay and that's what they make their decisions on. It's very rare that somebody's like ending decision to play a game is based on a cinematic trailer in 2024. Used to be really important, not as important anymore. So we aren't investing a lot of time and money into that. We also, we will be doing working with some influencers. We'll be running ads. We'll be doing all the normal stuff. I would say, just keep in mind, we are legitimately a relatively small indie company. We are not, we are not Daddy Warbucks over here with, unlimited funds. We will be doing everything possible to get the word out. But I think we survey players and we ask them, what got you into Smite? Why did you start playing Smite? And the number one response, every survey we ever ask, is my friend said, play Smite with me. The number one thing that can help us be successful at free-to-play launch, more than anything else, is all of you.
Yeah.
If you help share the word and tell your friends and they tell their friends and it kind of spreads from there, like grassroots, that's the true path to success. Because if we run ads and we pay influencers and whatever, and they see that the core community isn't like super stoked about this game, then it doesn't work, right? People don't jump in and get excited to be a part of the community. So if all of you will, hopefully you're happy with the direction we're going. I'm excited about the way the game is going. I feel like we've made so much progress already. I feel like all the stuff we talked about this week is super exciting. But if you guys can help be ambassadors of the game and spread the good word. I think that's a good part of our success. So I'm, asking you kindly,
Sweet. Well,
Absolutely.
I believe everyone has gotten their one question for the day. So let's go ahead and wrap up here. That
Yes.
way we can get to the flash test a little bit later on in the afternoon. Chat, keep an eye out on our social media channels and official Discord for when that flash test is going to start. We will be back tomorrow with the first in-game look at Joust in Smite 2.
Nice.
It's going to be really exciting. So be sure to be here tomorrow, 1 p.m. ET. I was walking around the map earlier today, and yeah, it looks really good. So, chat, hope you all have a great rest of the day. Hope you all enjoy Geb and Uller in the flash test this afternoon. We will see you tomorrow for the Joust reveal at 1 p.m. ET, right back here on twitch.tv/MyGame. But until then, we will see you all on the battleground. Peace!